Welcome into Bucko Booth, everybody. My name is Benson Fexter, and I'll be the host of your show today. I'm not going to lie about this week in Pirates baseball. It was a rough one. A extremely tough week for the Pirates, but we're going to break it all down here over the next hour on the best Pittsburgh Pirates podcast on the market. So sit on, enjoy, as we get going on Bucko Booth. On Saturday, the Pirates lost the game to the Brewers by a score of 5-3. Jordan Lyles started that game, only went 3 innings, giving up 3 earned runs on 5 hits, walking 4, striking out 5. Not a good start from him. And then Michael Feliz came in after him, gave up a run, followed by a scoreless outing by Rich Rod. Liriano came in, gave up a run, and Clay Holmes went 2/3 of an inning. The notable offensive performances in that game: Kevin Newman was 2 for 4 at the plate. Colin Moran also went 1 for 4 at the plate. He hit a home run early in that game. Adam Frazier 2 for 4 on the day as well. Then on Sunday, the Pirates lost the finale of the series 5-2 against the Brewers. Jung Ho Gong homered in that game, providing the only offense for the Pirates, his 5th on the season. Stephen Brault started that game and had a fantastic start. He went 6 1/3 innings, giving up 5 hits, 2 runs, walking 3, and striking out 5. Rich Rod, however, would come on and blow to save his 3rd of the year and his 2/3 innings of work, giving up some inherited runs. And then Francisco Liriano was charged with a loss as he didn't record any outs in his 4 batters, giving up 3 hits, 3 runs, and walking 1. And the Pirates headed down to Atlanta for 4 games. In Game 1 of the series, they lost by a score of 13-7. Starling Marte hit 2 home runs in that game, his 8th and 9th of the season. But it was the game that will go down in infamy as the ejection game, as Joe Musgrove hit Josh Donaldson, grazed him on the shirt, and he took exception to it and crossed the line, came after Joe Musgrove, and for some reason Brian Gorman decided to eject Josh Donaldson, which made complete sense. And then Joe Musgrove, Clint Hurdle came out, fought for his pitcher. He was ejected in the process as well. Joe Musgrove did not deserve to be ejected from that game. You know, good things just don't happen in Atlanta with umpires, whether it be the Sid Bream 92 situation, the Michael McHenry situation 7 years ago, or now this Joe Musgrove situation. Things just haven't worked out for the Pirates in Atlanta, this being the case. And Alex McRae had to come into that game. He threw 4 1/3 innings, giving up 6 hits, 8 runs, only 6 of them being earned, walking 3 and striking out 6, and he was sent down for that. Coming in after him was Jeff Hartlieb, who gave up 2 runs in his 2 innings, and then Montando Rappo, who gave up 3 runs in his inning of work. Game 2 of the series, Pirates lost by a score of 7-5. It was a rain-shortened affair, and a terrible call for it to be a rain-shortened affair. If you have been following my Instagram account and you saw my story, we saw the forecast at 12:24 a.m. when they called the game. The rain was set to stop in 45 minutes. We had already waited an hour and a half. It was drizzling at that point, and they decided to call the game. Now, 2 years ago, 2017, in the first ever series the Pirates played in SunTrust Park. A similar situation, except it was earlier in the game, and the Pirates had a slim lead, and it started raining, and I thought, the game's over. We're not going to sit here waiting for this on. And they waited 4 hours, came back on the field, and the Pirates lost the game. 4 hours, and the Braves only give us an hour and a half just because they had the lead. It's ridiculous. And the whole Braves series, the ump show that was the Braves series, was ridiculous in its own right. The first 2 games go to the umpires, and just ridiculous, as I said. Now, some notable Pirates performances in that game. Chris Archer got the start, and he got lit up. He went 6 innings, giving up 8 hits, 7 runs. 5 of those 8 hits were home runs. He walked 2, and he struck out 8. Dovidas Nebraskis came in after him with a scoreless inning, and then Kyle Crick, after him getting his first work in a long time, he threw an inning as well. Game 3 of the series, Pirates dropped it in 11 innings by a score of 8-7. The Braves walked it off on us in that game. Starling Marte, his 10th home run. Josh Bell, his 19th. Mitch Keller got the start in that game in his second Major League start. It did not go as planned. He gave up 10 hits, 6 runs, walking 2, striking out 2 in his 3 innings of work. And we had a lot of bullpen guys coming after him. Clay Holmes came in 2 innings of scoreless work. Rich Rod, inning of scoreless. Frankie, no runs in an inning. Felipe, no runs in an inning. Kyle Crick came in to try to get the save of the 9th. He blew his 4th save on the season in his inning of work. And then Michael Feliz, he pitched the 10th inning, was a scoreless inning, and then went out for the 11th and didn't record any outs as the Braves walked off with that victory. That game, I sort of pegged to Clint Hurdle. He could have very easily pitched Kyle Crick in the 8th inning and then Felipe Vasquez in the 9th. There was no reason to have Felipe in the 8th. Yes, it was a tie game, but still, there's no reason to throw Felipe in the 8th when and Clint Hurdle said himself, he's not going to go out there and pitch 2 innings. Poor managerial decision by Clint Hurdle cost the Pirates in that game. Thursday, the finale of the season series against the Braves would prevail with a score of 6-5. Joe Musgrove got the start of that game, the first Pirates pitcher to make 2 starts in one series in a long time. He did not pitch well. 4 innings, 9 hits, 6 runs, all earned, striking out 2 and walking a pair. And the 5th inning is when the train came off the tracks in this game. It really was. Joe Musgrove was sharp through 4 innings, and the 5th inning hit, and it was rough waters. Jeff Hartlieb came in to relieve him with 2 scoreless, followed by Dovidas Neverauskas pitching 2 scoreless innings. Overall, a rough series, rough road trip so far, but the Pirates kicked off their final series of this road trip in awesome fashion, having their most lopsided road victory in 12 years on the road, beating the Marlins by a score of 11-0. Colin Moran homered for his 10th time of the year, and Jose Osuna, second pinch hit home run, second home run of the season for him. Stephen Brault was brilliant. 6 innings, 8 hits. He scouted those 8 hits over 6 innings. No runs, no walks. It's a big thing to point as well, striking out 6. And then 3 more guys came in after Brault to shut him down. Feliz, a scoreless inning. Clay Holmes, a scoreless inning. And Rich Rod to close it out with a scoreless inning. Overall, the Pirates only recorded 1 win on this week. It was not pretty as they recorded many losses as well. 1-6 on the week. Let's head in to the transactions from the week. On Saturday, the Pirates recalled right-handed pitcher Michael Feliz, activated left fielder Corey Dickerson, placed right-handed pitcher Rookie Davis on the 10-day injury list with a right middle finger blister, activated third baseman Jung Ho Gong from the 10-day injury list, option shortstop Cole Tucker, and designated right-handed pitcher Nick Kingham for assignment. Michael Feliz has been back, and he's pitched very well in his return. He's pitched 4 innings in 3 games this week, pitched very well in those 4 innings. Pirates activated left fielder Corey Dickerson. He hasn't really gotten himself hot yet, but it takes time, especially he hasn't played in a long time before this time. And then the Pirates, after Rookie Davis's start, he was put on the 10-day injury list. He had a right middle finger blister problem, which probably, was the reason for his poor showing. They activated third baseman Jung Ho Gong. As I said, he homered this week. Shortstop Cole Tucker sent down. Love his glove, love his attitude, but his bat just simply isn't ready yet. I still believe he is the shortstop of the future for this Pirates team, but he just needs to get his bat right. And then Nick Kingham was designated for assignment, long overdue. On Monday, the Pirates recalled right-handed pitcher Montana Rapa from the AAA and placed right-handed pitcher Jordan Lyles on the 10-day injury list, retroactive to June 9th with left hamstring tightness, and signed their first-round pick right-handed pitcher Quinn Priester. Montana Rapa has not performed well outside of his first couple outings here in Pittsburgh. He's lost all command on his fastball, and I love him. We had him on the show. He's just not being as aggressive with his fastball as he used to be, and that's really been the reason for his downfall. It really has, and the Pirates then put Jordan Lyles on the 10-day IL, and that's why Dario Agrazal is getting the start here tonight, because Jordan Lyles is gone. The Pirates now only have 2 of the original 5 in the rotation, and that's Joe Musgrove and Chris Archer, both who have been extremely inconsistent at best. And it's just tough seeing that. And the good news from all this was Quinn Priester signed on Monday, and we'll get into that in a little bit here. Some more draft pick signs on Tuesday. But first, the Pirates recalled right-handed pitcher Dovidas Neverauskas, optioned right-handed pitcher Alex McRae, sent right-handed pitcher Chris Stratton on a rehab assignment to Indy. Some draft picks they signed: outfielder Matt Gorski, infielder Jared Triolo, right-handed pitcher Austin Roberts, outfielder Matt Frazier, outfielder Blake Sable, and right-handed pitcher Cameron Junker. Dovey was optioned to Indianapolis on Tuesday. Same with Alex McRae. And the reason why McRae was optioned is simply because of Brian Gorman, because he decided to have an ump show on Monday in Atlanta, ejected Joe Musgrove from that game 18 pitches in, and they had to go to Alex McRae, and he had to go out there and take a beating on short notice, and he lost a job because of that, and that's a direct correlation to Brian Gorman's poor decision-making. Umpires don't have consequences, and that really needs to change. Brian Gorman single-handedly cost Alex McRae a lot of money and a major league job. Single-handedly. Shame on you, Brian Gorman. The Pirates sent right-handed pitcher Chris Stratton on a rehab assignment to Indy. So that's good news as he is on his way back. We'll talk about that a little bit later here in the show. And then the draft pick signs, good news to hear guys like Gorski were signed. All these are early guys. Gorski, Triolo, Austin Roberts a little bit later, Matt Frazier, 3rd round pick, Blake Sable, 7th round pick, Cameron Junker, 10th round. So good news on the draft front. On Wednesday, the Pirates recalled right-handed pitcher Mitch Keller and optioned Montana Rappo. Keller, it's good to have him back. I mean, it's just simply because we don't have other options besides Mitch Keller. He got shelled. He's set to make his home debut on Tuesday in Pittsburgh, so we'll see how he performs in PNC Park. His first 2 starts of his career, both coming on the road. And then Montana Rappo, as I said, he's lost all of his confidence in his fastball, and that's really been the reason for his downfall. And then some good news on some draft signs. 5th round pick, we talked with him on the show last week. Right-handed pitcher Grant Ford signed. Kyle Wilkie, catcher from Clemson, signed. Chase Murray signed. We're going to be talking. You'll hear my conversation with him a little bit later. Shortstop Aaron Shackelford signed. Right-handed pitcher Garrett Leonard signed. Eli Wilson, I believe he's the son of Dan Wilson, so it's good news there. Corey Wood signed, and left-handed pitcher Trey McGow. On Thursday, the Pirates sent right-handed pitcher Trevor Williams on a rehab assignment to Indy. Traded Nick Kingham to the Blue Jays for cash. Some more signings. They signed shortstop Andres Alvarez, right-handed pitcher Bear Bellamy, catcher Ethan Goforth, right-handed pitcher Ryan Troutman, right-handed pitcher Samson Abernathy, second baseman Josh Bissonette, right-handed pitcher Jake Sweeney, and right-handed pitcher Daniel Ross. Trevor Williams, this is probably the best injury news that we've had in a long time. This rotation has been in shambles since Trevor Williams hit the injury list, so it's good to hear that he is on his way back from injury, and from what I heard, he will be starting on Wednesday in Pittsburgh, so it'll be very nice to have Trevor Williams back on the mound. Nick Kingham traded the Blue Jays for cash considerations. I mean, I wish nothing but the best for Nick Kingham moving forward in the future, and I hope he figures it out with the Blue Jays. It just wasn't meant for him in Pittsburgh. Some notable draft signs instead. I love the name Bear Bellamy. That's a awesome name. Ethan Goforth, also a cool name. Ryan Troutman, Samson Abernathy. We're going to have Josh Bissonette, second baseman from Baylor, on the show. He has a cool story that's coming up next week. Jake Sweeney, and then Daniel Ross. And then yesterday, the Pirates signed third baseman Ernie Ordonez and center fielder Sammy Siani. Ernie was a late draft pick. Sammy Siani was our second pick in the draft. So all good news there from the past couple days. Let's head to our mailbag. I'm going to take some questions that we got this week. I'm only going to take 3 this week. Our first question comes from Amir. He wants to know, is there any hope of us making the wild card in the next 5 years? Now, Amir, I don't think this year is going to be the year the Pirates make their run. Now, I certainly hope that I'm wrong, and I will be cheering that I'm wrong, right? Every game that I watch, I want us to win. But I just don't see a path right now with the hole we dug ourselves this week, and it's sad. Because last week, if you asked me this question before the podcast, when we were, 30-31, I would have been all in. Yes, we're going to make a wild card spot, but the way this week has transpired and the things that have transpired this week with the Pirates falling into last place in the NL Central with the Reds being better than us, tough, but I don't see it. Next year I definitely do. 2020 will be the year of the Bunko. The curse will be broken. Second question is from Mason. How do we get Melky and Polanco consistent at bats? It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, Mason, to get Melky consistent at bats because we